Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Tom's TC, and today it's all about the V-STROM again. And the reason it's about the V-STROM is because we have the CHIGEE AIO6 Max unit to review. CHIGEE have very kindly sent me this unit for review to follow up from the AIO5, which I think you'll agree was also a very good unit. The difference between the AIO5 and this unit is quite a lot, but the primary thing is the fact that it's a whole inch bigger, and they can see that that difference really portrays itself with the 6. I've also got front and rear dash cams. I've got the OBD unit as well. I have the tyre pressure sensor system, and I also have the quick release unit for this as well. I really like the CHIGEE units. I think they're incredibly well made and it gives them a premium feel. They do pretty much the same as cheaper units, only they do it with a bit more quality. The cameras are better quality, the fitment is better quality, and the screen itself is just generally a bit better. CHIGEE put a lot of effort into actually making this system a safety system as well, and we'll go into that in a second. If you're interested in this unit, do check out the link below and use my code TOMSTC10 to get 10% off. Okay, without further ado, let's get out on the bike and see what this unit is all about. Okay, so here we are out on the bike, ready to put the CHIGEE AIO6 Max through its paces. So the CHIGEE AIO6 Max is the unit without LTE, so you can't remote into it. However, it does have cameras. Well, these are all optional extras. You've got cameras front and rear. I also have the OBD unit under the seat connected to the ODB outlet, and that gives me engine statistics on the screen as well, which is quite natty. I've also got the remote control, the wireless remote control. It's really good, this unit. Enables you to just flick through screens really easily. You can also flick through screens with the buttons across the top as well. This particular unit has also got the quick release here. And what that enables you to do is remove it from the bike when you want to take it away and you're worried that someone might nick it. I don't think anyone's going to nick it, and I'm not sure I like this particular unit because I think it sticks out too far. Without that, it would actually be back at least ½ an inch. However, it's a good idea. I see where they're going with it. So on the bike, I've mounted the front camera under the peak here, and I mounted the rear camera on the rear fender here. Now, I think that's a pretty good place for them. Works quite well. Some of my other videos you would have seen me using it already, but yeah, they work really good. The cameras are 1080p. They are 60 frames per second, and I think the quality is some of the best quality I've seen on these types of units. Now, they're not going to be like action camera quality because it would just be ridiculously expensive. Admittedly, the CHIGEE units are a little bit more expensive than some of the other units that you may have seen on the market, but the quality is absolutely, well, it's amazing. The brackets are all metal, the cameras are metal, the units that you get with them all feel good and manufactured well. So yeah, definitely higher quality. Don't think functionality is much more, but quality is definitely there. So without further ado, let's get on the bike and talk a bit more about it. So when the unit powers on, it comes off of the ignition. So you turn the ignition on and the unit will power into life, like so. Now, the first screen you get is the one that you were last on. So in this case, we have the standard home screen, and you can see it brightening up as it adjusts to the sunshine. The unit will automatically brighten and darken depending on how bright the weather is, basically, and whether it's dark or whatnot. So it obviously goes straight into Android Auto, and I've done the firmware update, so I get a nice little bit of information on the right hand side, and then I get my Android Auto over here, weather, maps, whatever map system that you're using. And also you get on the rear camera on the right hand side, and if you want to go into it, you just tap it. So you can see that goes into the front camera because that is the camera that is defaulted at the moment, but it's showing the rear camera. You've got your PSIs, you can change those like so, altitude, battery power, There's your miles per hour, how many miles you've done today, and today's ride in total, which is quite cool. Anyway, you can cycle through. So if you want to go back to the main screen, you can either press and hold the buttons like so, and that will cycle through all different screens. You can also go back to the home screen by pressing the left button at the top, and that'll bring you back. So this is your home screen, and if you want to get into more information, you press the little speedometer down here, and you can see you've got a little blue arrow there, and you can actually cycle through the different options that you have here. So this is the OBD settings here. You've got this setting here, the 30, you've got your engine temperature, you've got your lean angle, you've got your tyre pressures, front and rear, and your miles per hour and your RPM. So if we go back to the home screen, this is the screen that boots up when you start the bike up. When we start the bike, and as you can see, the RPM is rising as I rev the bike. And you can see a different screen there. And on this screen, you get a nice big lean angle as well. And you get these nice little red bits which show you where the maximum lean angle was. So I think what we'll do is we'll go for a little ride and we'll try and cycle through the screens, and I'll give you some idea of what the cameras are like when we're out on the road. So the first thing I notice with this is, even with the sunshine beaming down on this unit, I can still see everything, which is really good actually. Not a lot of units are very good at that. They get very glary. You can see as I'm going around the corner, you get an excellent idea of how far we're leaning, which again is quite a natty idea, but pretty good fun. So we can obviously go through these screens with the remote, or we can press the buttons across the top, like so. If we press and hold them, it will go back to the home screen. If we press and hold them again, it will take us on to the Android Auto. So we'll just get around this corner first. So we have the cameras here in front of us. That's facing forward, so we're getting our speed on the screen as well. And if we tap through it, we can lock them or take a picture. So that shows the rear camera with the grid on the bottom. And what the grid is for is blind spot detection system. Nice CB1000 there. Now above 30 miles an hour I think you've got it set for. If someone's in that position and you slow down or you try and turn right or left, it will bring up a big alert on the right hand side or the left hand side of the screen, just to let you know that there's something there that you may not have noticed, which is quite a good part of the system. And if we press the middle button, then it will lock that section of video in as well. You can just cycle through the cameras left and right. And long press on the left takes us back to the home screen. And it's quite reassuring to know that the whole time that you're riding, that is being recorded. And what it also records is your lean angle as well. You can record your speed on there. It records your revs if you've got the OBD. So I think that's pretty pucker actually. The other thing this system has is crash detection. So if you have a crash, it'll automatically lock that video in place. It will also call SOS if you have an accident. And I know this because the bike was accidentally dropped the other day, only on its side, and it went calling SOS, cancel or carry on. which is a great feature. Because if you're in a ditch somewhere and it rings the ambulance or whatever, then you're sorted, aren't you? So like I said, this system is not the LTE, and the LTE system comes with an app where you can actually monitor your bike real time from your phone. What this does have in an app that can enable you to actually pull the videos off if you like. You can also get an SD card for it, and then you can just take the SD card out and put that into your computer and get the videos off that way if you wish. The system will record 3-minute videos, which will overwrite over time, but once you've got 128 gigabyte card on there, I think you should get a whole day's filming on there quite easily. Okay, I've just pulled over in this lay-by because I want to show you how easy it is to use Google Maps on this device or any other mapping system of your choice. Be aware though that some mapping systems, even though they're free, don't allow you to use Android Auto with them. You sometimes have to pay for that. There are two that I know of that don't, and that is one of those is Google Maps, and the other one's not even worth mentioning. The other system I use is OSM and I use that for creating GPX files and doing my off-roading and green laning, etc, etc. I'm actually going to turn the engine off there. So if we open up Maps, as you can see it's already on there. It's because it's the last thing I used with Android Auto. This is similar to CarPlay, etc, etc. I don't have an iPhone so I can't show you that. But if I want to go somewhere, let's go to a beer cider company, even though I know where that is. So on my phone here you can see it's showing me where it is, but nothing on there. If we hit directions and we hit start, the phone it's saying it's closed, but we don't care, we want to go there anyway. So as you can see, it's now showing on my maps ready to go. You can also use things like OSM like I said. So if we open up OSM on the phone and we were to navigate, it would automatically change. But we can actually check it from here as well. So there's OSM ready to go. Pretty good, eh? As you can see, it's already showing you there. So what we'll do is we'll go back to Google Maps. So it's just telling me that the cider company is closed, but that's absolutely fine because we know we're just going there to show you this. But you can see basically that the thing is ready to go. Yeah, I'm good. So there we go. You can see I'm now getting navigation on the CHIGEE. And the other good thing about Android Auto, and this is across all of the devices, you can actually, you've got your phone in your pocket. If you have an accident, you can get to your phone and you can ring someone. It's as simple as that. It's not on your handlebars, ready to get smashed or be distant away from you. The other good thing about this is that people say that it drains your battery on your phone. To a degree it does. I mean, I've had up to 3 hours of using Maps and streaming and I've never had an issue. The phone gets down to about 50%. If it does decide to run out or you do forget, you can always plug it back into your bike or under your seat or whatever. I've been using this device now for about a week and I'm really happy with it. It's a great unit. I think it's quite highly priced. You can obviously get other units that are much cheaper than this, but you can see that in the overall quality of the device. The screen is amazing. The cameras are much better than most. But yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll talk about prices in a minute. Right, I think we're going to pull in here to the bottom of Borough Mump, just to wrap this section of the video up. Okay, I think this is a great unit. I think you'll all agree with me. If you're watching this video, that's why you're looking this up. So, we'll go back to me in the garage to summarise the CHIGEE AIO6 Max. Okay, so we're back in the garage and we're back with the bike with the CHIGEE unit. Overall, I'm really impressed with this unit. There are a few niggles with it, like the way it vibrates on the bracket itself, but I think that's a quick release unit. I don't know if I'm going to stick with that quick release unit. I'll probably just go back to a permanent fixture. The other issue with it as well is if you want to lock it to the bike, you kind of have to fiddle around the back to actually get it out, and it just doesn't work particularly well on this bike. You'd have to, you know, you have to keep constantly moving it around. I think I'll just go with a permanently fitted bracket. I've also gone with 128 gig carb in the unit itself, and what that does is it enables me to get at least a couple of days, well, probably a day's worth of riding and filming. Because the quality of the video is so much higher, it uses up quite a lot of space. You could change it down to 720p, but I think the 1080p with the 60 frames per second works really, really well. We've already spoken about what safety features you get with the device, and I think the safety features kind of add the price up a little bit. The unit uses AI for blind spot detection. It kind of supposed to predict what's going to happen. There has been some rumours that in the future they will actually be bringing out a radar for the device as well. So I'll be interested to see how that goes, and I'll be bringing you updates on that. The unit, the BSD, works quite well with just the camera. I used to find that on the AIO5, it would be pretty accurate and was good enough to give you a warning. You can turn up and down the sensitivity as well, and you can also turn up and down the sensitivity of accident detection and stuff like that. So, you know, it's all customizable. You can change the way it is. I've got mine all set on low, and I think that that's perfect for this device. Right, let's move on to prices. So this is the AIO6 Max, and it's basically a dumb unit with no internet connection. It uses your phone to connect, or it'll connect to the Wi-Fi unit at your home so it can do updates, etc, etc. The AIO6 LTE is a different kettle of fish. What that does is you can put a SIM card into it, and it will use that data connection to connect to your bike, so you can actually have a real-time view of the cameras on that device. You can set it to alert you if it is moved or stolen, and you can constantly monitor the bike's perimeter. It's a much more versatile unit. I don't have access to it because I don't have any in stock at the moment. If I do ever manage to get hold of one, I will certainly review that. There is a big difference in price, and you can either you can either pay for the subscription, or you can use your own SIM card. The subscription, I'll put the price up below because I'm not sure what that is at the moment, but that's how it's here. So we'll go for just general numbers of actual hardware. The AIO6 Max, which is what we have here, the 6 Max, on its own, just the unit, is £449.95. The LTE unit starts at £539.95. So it's an expensive piece of kit. So the next thing you would want to add to your device is the cameras. The front and rear cameras are £174.95. If you go for the quick release unit as well, that's £104.95. The external tyre pressure sensors are £70. The wireless remote is £72, and the OBD wireless module is £81. You know, if you want the extras, you are looking at quite a lot of money. But, another but, I think the value is good for this. The unit, when you hold it in your hand, and the quality of the cables and the way they thought about the universal fitting of it, works actually really well. CHIGEE are always developing new stuff as well as they go forward. But like I said, if you want to save 10%, use my code TOMSTC10 and click the link below, or just use the code. Anyway guys, I think that sums up the video now. The CHIGEE unit will feature in a lot of the videos with the Suzuki going forward, because I think it's a really cool unit, and I use it with OSMN to map out the maps when I'm doing relaning and stuff like that. So, you know, it's a brilliant device for that. And like I say, the cameras and everything else on it are just fantastic. So yes, I will be using it going forward. If you've got any questions, check out my website, tomstc.co.uk. Go to contact, send me an email. I'm more than happy to answer any questions, technical or otherwise. I will try and help you there. I'm always happy to help. I don't have all the answers, but I have experience with using the unit. I've also done a fitting of the unit as well, a full video of that. I may put that up. I'm not 100% sure. If you comment below and you want to see that, let me know. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time watching Tom's TC, do give me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.